Don't you dare hit finish, you stupid Asian. I swear to God, this is your first time doing the fucking podcast, producing it, and I will kill you if you fuck this up. Do you understand me, you dumb Asian?
I'm not that kind of Asian, you asshole.
Yeah. You ready for this? Melinda, you ready? Remember, don't get too far away from that.
Okay, yes, I am ready. No, it's whatever you need it.
You're an idiot.
What's new? You come up with new material.
You ready for this?
That's me.
And we all are live, baby. Put it on me. Is it on me? Straight up? It better be. I got a new producer, and he better be doing the right thing.
Shut the hell up.
Ladies and gents, those born that way and those who have transitioned and those in between, I am your broski, Bobby Pickles, and welcome to this Thursday stream. Today on the podcast,
Broski's a stupid term.
I have in studio my business neighbor, Melinda. Melinda works for a hair salon located close to the sweatshop in the sunny South Florida corridor, connecting. Do you need to get that? Are you going to show? Mr. Director, you're the worst.
Yeah, it happens.
Back on me, sir. Anyway, Melinda works for a hair salon located close to the sweatshop in this sunny South Florida corridor connecting Northwood and downtown West Palm Beach. Melinda is a fully transitioned trans woman, but obviously she is so much more than that, as we will soon find out today on this podcast. Originally from Seward, Alaska, Melinda is, in her past life, fathered 4 children. Yeah. Is that right? 2 boys, 2 girls. She was married twice. She spent damn near 30 years of her life working in every aspect of the oil business throughout rustic Alaska. She's a staunch Republican. Is that right?
Exactly, yes.
You okay saying that?
I am okay.
You're all right saying okay.
Proud.
Would you say Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay. And she disagrees with Drag Queen Story Hour. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Okay. You can tell us why. We'll get into it. Melinda, severs a lot of the stereotypes that you think of when you think of a transgendered person living in America. And I'm happy that she feels safe enough with me that, she feels that she could be herself and put herself out there and be on my podcast. And there's a lot of maniacs out there in this world. So, there's lots of scum. And I just thank you so much for
including you.
Yes, for being on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Hey,
appreciate it. All right. I think that's close enough there. What do you think, Genghis? Are you getting a good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, Parker, you don't like the term broski? Is that right?
No, I do not like the term broski, you stupid fat idiot.
Why?
I don't know. It sounds stupid like you.
All right.
Wait a minute. Now you're starting to piss everybody off.
I know.
Good. That's my job.
So Melinda, thank you so much for coming down here. I wanted to ask you first, I want to talk about you and find out about yourself. You're from Seward, Alaska?
Seward, Alaska.
Seward.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about Alaska. Can you tell me about Seward, Alaska?
Yeah, Seward, Alaska, it's on the Kenai Peninsula. We got Resurrection Bay that is connected to the North Pacific Ocean. It is out there by the islands. We are in the middle of 3 mountain ranges. Then there's glaciers between all the mountains.
When we were talking, so a little bit of backstory, right? We were talking last week. I was over down at European. Well, can I say it?
Yep.
European beauty salon. And I mean, I was just worried about saying that because, like I said before, though, there are scum, right? There's a lot of crazy people out there. You never do what somebody's going to do, you know? It's a lot of whack jobs. But anyway, I was down there. I was getting my hair cut. And we got to talking. And you were telling me all about Seward, Alaska, and how beautiful it is. We saw you showed me the pictures, and it's right there. There's a bay right there. And you said that it goes how far down?
Okay, the water is 600 fathoms deep. There's 6 foot to a fathom, so the water is 3,600 feet. You know, you don't need a boat to go deep sea fishing where I live.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. That's just like completely cold water.
Yes, and the water is so clear and blue. You could drop a quarter in it and just sit there and watch it for 30 seconds, just tumbling, sparkling.
No way. Are you serious?
Yes.
Do you ever go like scuba diving or anything like that?
I've been in a suit a couple of times just playing around, you know, building ships. You know, that's what one of our shipyards are in Seward, Alaska, and we'd have to have divers come down, and some of the divers are my friends, and would go down and make sure the cradle is right for the ship that we're fixing to bring up. And yes, so I've been just.
So what was that? What kind of business is that?
That's Seward Ships and Dry Dock. We build ships and repair damaged ships and inspect. Every boat in water comes out every 4 years. Coast Guard runs everybody out every 4 years. You know, you got to replace the zincs on a boat, which keeps the carbon steel from getting contaminated, or the aluminum from getting contaminated with the salt to keep it from rusting away.
Wow.
You know, so the zincs will.
So I thought you said you were in the oil business.
Yes,
is that the part of the oil business?
That's my first occupation. I was working for the oil companies for 27 years, and then after that, my mom and dad come up to Seward, and my dad got sick and eventually passed, and my mom stayed there, and I stayed local. I gave up the oil field job because it involved a lot of traveling, and I thought I could stay close to the shipyard because it's just right down the road from the house. And then after a while, we got...
When was this? How old were you?
I think I was 40, 30, about 40.
Okay. So your first job was in the oil business, and
Yes.
then you transitioned after your father passed.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Yeah. That's a big thing when that happens. So that happens when you're 40 years old?
Yeah, somewhere around there, probably 38, 37.
That's right around the time I lost my dad. My dad 35, and then mom's not looking too good now, but I understand that. Did that do anything to you as far as like losing your parents? Did that have an effect on you?
Yes, it did. You know, my dad, he kind of, he showed me that dying was part of living. You know,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, he was 24 years, 10 months, Special Forces medic. He's been to several tours in Vietnam. He's been shot, blown up, and left for dead. You know, when he was running, he'd jump out of airplanes and helicopters into the middle of the battlefield and put your guts and heart and lungs back in you and get you on a stretcher and get you the hell out of there. And one time he got shot 6 times in the chest, and he woke up with a American soldier taking his Rolex watch off of him. And my dad said, "What the hell are you doing?" And the guy just dropped my dad's hand and just took off running. Wow. You know, but that was, yeah.
That reminds me of Pulp Fiction.
Well, this is.
Do you remember that?
Do
you remember when he shoved the watch up his ass? And he had to hold it there for months and months and months until he brought it out to give it to his friend's kid.
Well, you know, I'm unfamiliar with.
I don't know why that my mind just went there, but that's where it went.
Oh, okay.
No, but no, we were just talking about something so serious and stuff like that about like parents passing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, but anyway. Tell me about William Henry Seward. What was that? That was the namesake of the place you're from?
Yeah, that was William H. Seward.
Okay.
He was Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of State. And this is our Seward Folly. You know, the whole state parties on everything, but this is another party day for
What's Seward Folly?
the Seward Folly is back in the 1700s when William H. Seward bought Alaska from Russia for 4 cents an acre, total of $8 million for the whole state of Alaska. But in 1700, the United States didn't have $8 million. So William H. Seward wrote a hot check and give it to Russia. You know, and to this day, that check has never been redeemed. You know, but people always make jokes about, hey, Russia's going to come over and take the land back. It's never been bought and paid for. You know, because, you know, since then, Alaska's accumulated $80 billion of its own money from the oil revenues. Probably 10 times more than that with all the gold up there, because literally you could just dig for gold in your front yard or your backyard.
Really?
Literally, gold is where you find it. And
So getting back to your dad, that's where we were at. We were about he was going to get his watch stolen while he was wounded in Vietnam. Is that right? And then he became aware of it.
Yes.
While he was
Happened to
getting
wake
wow.
up. Yeah.
So did he have a lot of stories?
Yes,
a lot of crazy
did.
war stories.
You know, they used to talk a lot. I don't know if I should even talk about some of the stuff, but you know, they used to give cows and mosquitoes malaria and fly them over in the jungles of Vietnam, and they would parachute these cows out with anthrax, you know, and not counting the malaria.
Would parachute an entire cow?
Well, yeah.
To infest all the other livestock?
Well, yeah, because when you give a cow anthrax and they get in with the other herd, the whole herd gets anthrax.
And that was back in
and then
Vietnam.
It could kill. Yeah, it's dead.
Do you think? I mean, COVID obviously was made in a lab, right? Obviously.
Yes, I believe that.
I mean, if they were giving cows malaria and dropping them in jungles,
well, anthrax too,
or whatever,
you know?
whatever. Yeah, we're obviously have reached a point where they just create stuff like
they just create
disease.
Biological warfare for nothing.
Yeah, is that on you?
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
You're putting the stupid video cam on yourself too. Thank you very much. That's a great hat that you made for yourself.
They say war is hell, you know, and everything goes, you know, chemical warfare, germ warfare, bullets, Agent Orange.
You don't mind weed, do you?
No, I don't mind weed. You know, I got some good friends in Alaska that grow some of the best weed on the planet.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
And they make their marijuana butter and their pound cake and their granola bars.
Well, it's legal there, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Just for recreational. You know, you can't use it professionally, but you could smoke the hell out of it.
That's all we want. We just want recreation.
Recreational, yeah.
It,
municipal purposes.
No, recreation, not municipal. You know, in the full, want to be allowed to smoke fully. Anyway. So I mean, Alaska must be a wild place.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place.
Absolutely. Why did your dad move to, did your family come from Alaska?
I was the first one to
be born there?
No.
What?
I hitchhiked to Alaska back in 1993.
Okay. Oh, so you weren't actually from there originally?
No, I moved
You
there.
went there, you moved there. Where were you from originally?
Galveston, Texas.
You don't really know where you're from? Oh, because you're an Army brat person. Or
well,
no?
I went. I was born on Galveston Island.
Okay.
I went to school in Galveston. Then I left school, went to Oklahoma, got in the oil fields, and eventually went back to Galveston with a wife and three kids.
Now that makes sense. Okay.
Right.
So you got into the oil business out in Texas. Okay.
Yes, that's where I started. And then I went to Oklahoma, Louisiana, then out in the Gulf of Mexico for several years. Then ended up in Dubai for about 9 months. And then from Dubai back to Louisiana, Gulf of Mexico, and then Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Well, that's something else you should look up is Prudhoe Bay. You know, that's an amazing.
Well, once my my producer figures out how to work all the keys and everything like that, we'll be able to do things like that. Mm-hmm. But tell me about it. Can you tell me about it really quick?
Well, yeah. Well, let me start. Well, you asked me something about Seward earlier, and I want to just add when the typhoid fever or the plague was killing all the natives up north. It was in the middle of the winter. The roads was too bad you couldn't drive up there. The snowstorm was so bad you couldn't drive up there. You couldn't fly up there. and you couldn't float a boat up there because, it's all frozen. So they brought the serum in from Seattle, Washington, and they brought the serum to Seward, Alaska. And there you see the statue of Balto. He's the lead dog he mushed the serum 1,200 miles from Seward, Alaska to Nome, Alaska. Serum.
What is that?
That's an antidote.
Okay.
The vaccine. That's the vaccine because there was a pandemic.
There was?
Going on. Yes. Apparently the people thought the COVID was the first pandemic.
Oh my God. This was actually a pandemic back in the day?
Yes.
Was it really?
Yeah. Back in, I don't know when that was.
Bobby, you've never seen the movie Balto? I'm actually being serious right now.
You've got to watch the movie Balto. He's a legend.
Yes.
He's
I'm being serious.
Sled dog. Matter of fact, you should always take your hat off when you talk. He's up there with John Wayne.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know this.
Walt Disney,
sorry.
Balto?
Nope.
Okay.
That escapes me completely.
You sheltered idiot.
He's pretty sheltered.
All right. All right. So when did you first feel like you were a woman trapped in a man's body?
Oh, probably when I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Really?
It's always been there. And my whole entire life, I've even dressed, that way.
You did?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was kind of rough.
What did your parents think? Your dad is a military guy. He was in Vietnam. He had all that, all those experiences there, and he was obviously probably
my mom remarried. My mom divorced, and my stepdad.
Okay, all right.
And back in the 60s, they take you to the doctor and say, look, he's wearing women's underwear and women's clothes, and we can't make him stop. And then they would declare, okay, look, this guy's retarded.
Have a beer.
Yeah. Take him to the doctor, get these Ritalins.
Thank you.
And give him Ritalin. Okay, then the Ritalin didn't work. And then the doctor would say, okay, you're going to have to beat it out of him. So the beatings was severe. The beatings was...
When did that start?
Probably when I was like 11 or 12. I'm talking about belt. My stepdad was a pretty big guy, and his belt would go around me 2.5, 3 times. And when that end hit you, it'd whelp up purple, and then it'd bleed, and it was just insane.
My God, did they stay together?
They did for quite a while. I left home probably when I was...
What about siblings?
5 brothers and 2 sisters.
And then so was it all with your father? And then
there was 3 men involved.
Okay.
Mom liked to spread the joy.
I completely understand that. Yeah, I have that in my family too. I think everybody does at some point.
And look, today I say my mom and dad are wonderful people. They're old, one's deceased. I can't carry grudges and complain about the beatings and stuff because, society wasn't ready for it back in the 60s and the 70s. So I just want to say that, look, hey, the people I was around as a kid, they wasn't the nicest, but me being 60 today, hey, everybody's forgiven. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so I guess you could understand them and how they were dealing with it at the time, given the time of. Is that what you're saying? Like, given the way that society was at that time, you can understand how they reacted or dealt with it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not really, because
or you just forgive them now in hindsight.
Well, I forgive them now, because 7 kids coming from a poor family. Out there on the back of that 20 acres, that old cow pasture, we built a 2-bedroom shack, and we made 6 bunk beds nailed to the wall, and we made the bunk beds. No electricity, no running water, and then, my big sister kind of took the role of taking care of us, and she'd take us up front to the to the water trough, every morning before school and give us baths and stuff like that. And then we'd sit out there and catch the school bus. And a lot of times we'd have to walk through ruts and stuff with mud and stuff, barefooted. I went to school for the longest time
On the top of a hill, right?
both ways.
Yeah, going both ways.
Right.
But that's true, huh? You had a what? How big was your school? Was it like a little school?
Well,
was it a little shanty
Now,
schoolhouse?
down in Brazoria County, Texas, it was a pretty big school. It was built in the 20s, and it was, and this was back in 1967 and 68. The segregation was still, we lived, our cow pasture and our territory the schools was segregated. White people over here, black people in this school, and it was just now doing a transition. But yeah, the school, we probably had 2,500 people in it. Now the schools in Alaska is a little bit different because you got 2,500 people that lives in the whole community. One teacher teaches everything.
Move in a little
not
bit.
to us.
If you could maybe move this in or something. I
Okay.
know it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
But I really want to get you as close as possible to the mic. It picks up the best.
Okay.
But yeah, so Texas I'm sorry for getting you off track. Texas
all right.
back in the day, right?
Yeah.
It was another world. Texas was a republic of Texas. I heard that it was supposed to be 5 different states or something like that at one point.
Yeah, and
it was like a little
is.
country unto itself, and it was 5 different states.
Yeah, from Mexico all the way to up to Maine, including Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and
Oh, really?
yeah, Texas territory is almost half the size, or maybe 1/3 or almost 2/3 of the land, and it's all oceanfront property. It's a southern seaboard, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
The
And your
upper
people
part-
came from Texas for like generations or something, or what? What do you think? Do you know about your background? Like, what Europeans came here? Were they Polacks? No.
Well, my family on my mom's side, they, they from Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
3 generations ago or 2 generations ago, they come over in covered wagons. On my dad's side,
They participated in slavery, probably.
yeah,
You're scum.
I'm scum. But then my dad's side is from Oklahoma. My great-great-granddad, they come over and staked it. Well, my granddad or my great-granddad was the first full-blood Indian to be inducted into the Masonic.
That's right. You have Native American blood, right?
Lodge, yes.
Nice. He was in the Masons?
Yes.
So you're not completely, you know a little bit about secret societies, right?
Yeah, my uncle, he was
I belong to a secret society called Proud Boys.
Proud Boy.
Do you ever heard about us at all?
Well, I heard there's some assholes in there, but they're very patriotic assholes, and they're well loved into the true land of America.
Yeah, and I guess we're kind of assholes, but we're cool too. We're not what they say we are. Let's just say that. And we have some people that are dual. They're like I know some of our brothers are in the Masons. So that's when you were saying that, I was just like, oh.
Well,
yeah.
my brother's a Masonic Mason.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm saying, our members are brothers.
Yes.
We're all brothers. So,
Right.
but some of them are dual who are also in the Masons and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But going back that was your father who was in the Masons, you said?
That was my
grandfather?
my grandfather,
Okay.
then my uncle, and then my brother.
And you said he was the first Native American who was in the Masons?
Yeah, he's the first full-blooded Cherokee that was ever in the Masonic Mason.
Wow.
And they come to Oklahoma back when Oklahoma was a territory, and they staked it out, and then the white man come up there and took all their land away from them, and and give them a little reservation or something.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gives me flashbacks because I was just talking this last Thanksgiving. They was talking about, half the group wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving, and the other half didn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving because when Columbus and them come over and discovered the American Indians, they were starved to death. So the Indians showed them how to catch fish, plant corn, and and stuff like that, So, and then they took all their land away from them. But that, that was just one argument. That's not mine. I didn't say that, but a lot of other people did.
What do you think about it?
I think they come over here and.
Do you celebrate Columbus Day?
Yeah, I celebrate Columbus Day, but I probably celebrate it for different reasons.
Okay. What would those be?
Well, it's a holiday.
Exactly.
And that's
just an
that's
excuse.
a good drinking day.
But should we call it like Indigenous Peoples Day or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because, they're saying Columbus ain't near the hero that he gets credit for. And history is starting to show that.
You think so? Oh, okay.
I think so.
So, I mean, I have to ask this. I'm sorry, because because I'm trying to find out more about this whole thing, and you definitely sever the stereotype of what a transgender in America is. Are you gay? Because I've met some people that aren't, some people that are, or is it just like kind of an ambiguous, like nothing?
Well, I don't consider myself gay. I was married to females twice. I divorced my first wife, and then I got married to a lady of the military. She was the Air Force, as a linguist, and then she was a linguist for 6 years, and went to the National Security Agency for 8 years as being a cryptologic linguist, and got some very high awards. Matter of fact, one of the highest awards that a female could get working at the National Security Agency. General Odom was a personal friend of hers. He's now deceased a few years. But to ask if I'm gay, I don't consider myself gay. But, talking to some of the people in the trans community around here, they consider me as being a lesbian. But, I got, like I said, 4 kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. And, I live a kind of confusing life. I get strange questions. I was walking around in Lakeworth. I was going to the phone store in Lakeworth, all dolled up, walking around with trying to find a store that'll fix my phone. And this guy comes up to me in a convertible Rolls Royce. And he says, how would you like to make a day's wages? I'm thinking to myself, this dumb son of a bitch, in Alaska, my day's wages is $1,700, and then when I turn him down on his offer and tell him, look, I've got to go handle my business here. And then he starts calling me a faggot, but anyway, I find it kind of comical, because
He was actually.
yeah, he's approaching me
He's approaching.
and then trying to flaunt money with me, driving a convertible Rolls Royce, which wasn't very impressive. But anyway, it just don't make no sense.
And so you must get that kind of weird stuff a lot.
I get it a lot, and one of my lines is, I'm too old of a cat to be screwed by the kitten. So I got to keep it real, keep moving forward. On a
So
positive note.
you were married twice.
Yes.
And are you seeing somebody now?
Just the girls at the salon.
Okay.
They are my everything.
But you are attracted to females for the most part. So you're a lesbian now. Is that right?
Well, yeah, that's that's what they tell me.
That's that's just so crazy, right? Because that's not what you would normally think. I mean, it's not. I do know I saw a documentary about a guy too, but he's in the military and he had the full thing, the full operation also, and he's not either though. He's attracted to women. She. I'm sorry.
Watch your mouth.
I apologize. But it's just such a gray area thing. You're really a complex human being.
Well,
Ever since you were a kid, you were doing this.
Yes.
You were dressing like this.
Yes, but I had to hide it because I'd wear it underneath my work uniform and stuff like that. Sweating all the time. But I seen a video on YouTube back when I was 55. Now this is something that's going to tie up a couple of loose ends about gay and stuff like that. Because I am fully transitioned. Got a custom built vagina. $100,000 went into it. 89 for the surgery, another 10 for aftercare.
Who paid for that? You paid for. I mean, does insurance cover any of that?
Yeah, but throughout the years, we're pretty much broke even with it because my insurance company would cost me $20,000 a year just out of pocket, whether I used it or not. But the time wasn't right. I was still working. I couldn't really afford to take off time from work and stuff like that. But I seen a video one day when I was 55, and I said, "Wow, this is me." So I called my psychiatrist up there in Anchorage, and I said, "Look, I need to talk to you." So we made an appointment. I went to Anchorage the next day, and I showed her that video, and she got me hooked up with a endocrinologist there in Anchorage. And come to find out, that endocrinologist is a drop dead, gorgeous, tall, blonde, trans woman. And she's a captain in the Air Force. And she's also been inducted into the International something of medicine. Very talented, very successful. And, I'm just.
And so you were like, wow, that's like impressive. And
Yes.
I want to do this too.
Yes.
Wow.
I took that video up to my psychiatrist, and said, "Look, doctor, watch this video. This is what I've been trying to tell you for 20 years. Now listen to me. This is what I've been trying to tell you for 20 years. So this just didn't come up one night. I've been talking to her about it for 20 years, and I just didn't know how to say it. And I come down here to Florida, then I find out there's a LGBTQ community. Well, hell, I've never heard of a LGBT community. So, but anyway.
And then in that community, what do people think about you? Because you're not like a traditional, like, you're not a lot of those alphabets. Like that T is kind of weird. It's kind of different.
It is.
It's not like traditional and stuff. I mean,
Now
you were trapped in a man's body, basically.
Yes.
That's what happened.
And I'm good.
And now you're good.
Yeah. Now my outside matches my inside. And some of the I don't know what to say on this, so you could edit some of it out and stuff.
Oh no, this is live.
This is live.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, we're live.
Fucked, then.
We are live right now.
Okay. Well, I better not say that, the younger generation that's in my community and stuff, we don't see quite eye to eye because, I believe that everybody should be working. If you're able to work, if you want something, it's a free enterprise world, get out there and work for it. And people want to sell me little cars and stuff no, I'm a little bit more into the bigger things. If we ain't got enough gas to fill up my vehicle, it's time to drill another well.
You made good money.
I made some fair money.
That's hard work.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm a workaholic on top of everything else.
I mean, you would be out there working. You had a totally different life, though. You had facial hair, right?
Yes.
Can we talk about your past life? I mean, you had like a handle. You showed me some pictures. I wish my idiot producer knew how to run all the equipment.
What's going on with your producer over there?
A lot.
Well, what's going on with your producer over there? You guys want to talk at all? I don't know. I should throw you under the bus right now. God.
Yeah, we got to bring Vonica and Magda over, and because look, if it wasn't for these, what do you mean you're good? Y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, but talking to some of the people in my community, and I tell them, they complain about not having a fair shake, prejudice, people being judgmental, and stuff like that, and really.
The younger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want equal rights. It seems like the younger ones want softer rights. And then they'd ask me some questions, and I'd ask them, and they'd ask me how come I was able to work. Oh, I was accused of being white privilege.
Oh, yeah.
White privilege.
You definitely are. Oh, look at you.
Going to school with no shirt on, no shoes on, for years, that's white privilege. But
you don't believe that we do have some kind of white privilege, Well,
maybe if you got money or something, but hell, I had to work for everything I got.
Yeah.
12, 14 hours a day, 7
white
days
people.
a week, 365 days a year. And I don't know how to say this. One of the guys I was talking to was asking me about how I afforded everything, and the white privilege, and he didn't have it. And I
How
said,
you
well,
afforded all the surgeries, right?
right, that comes from hard work. Then I would ask, because I'm Republican,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd ask them. I said, how'd you vote? And they said, well, I voted Democrat. I said, see, there you go. You got to change your way of thinking. You got to get out there and work. You can't just sit back and wait on hand-me-downs or think people to get or society to give you something, and then complain about them not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But the generosity is not there. Why help those who don't help themselves? And I hate to say that, especially live on the air.
No, it's true.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, it's true.
And then you've always felt like that? You've always felt like that ever since a little kid or whatever? Or did you develop that, like, that work ethic on the way?
No.
Did the loss of your parents help you to motivate you to really, like, work hard and stuff like that at
No,
all?
what motivated me to work hard and stuff, when I was like 14, the first time I run away from home, I went to Princeton, Indiana. And me and this other guy, he was a little older than I was, but we got a job. I was his swamper, was driving a cement truck for the oil companies, a cement truck. And I was his swamper. He didn't know how to drive a stick shift, and neither did I, so we figured we'd just show each other how to, get it done. And we did. And then, to legally draw a paycheck, I had to be 18 years old. Well, when I run away from Oklahoma, to Texas, and went to Oklahoma, and I walked up on this drilling rig, and I was, I think, 17 and a half at this time. And the driller on the rig says, well, look, we don't hire inexperienced people. And we don't hire people that's under the age of 18. Now, if you wanted to come out here every day and work and work until you could carry your own weight, when you're 18 years old, we'll put you on the payroll. So my first job in the oil field then was
free?
Was free.
Wow.
And then I would walk the water line from the drilling rig to the water pump, because the farmers back in them days, they'd take machetes and hatchets and shoot holes in the water line and stuff. And the drilling rigs got to have water. So I took care of the water line, and sometimes the water line would be 2 to 3 miles away from the rig. And I would walk that 2 or 3 times a day, and then I would refuel the water pump, and I would take care of the water pump. And then sometimes I got to get up on the rig floor and start learning about the rig floor and how to catch samples and slinging tongs around the chain and stuff like that. And then on my 18th birthday, they put me on the payroll, and that job there lasted me pretty much 27 years.
Wow. And it's so,
they brought
people want to get in that business so bad, they're willing to work for free in order to learn everything.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, that's how I did it too.
It was a way of survival for me. The people in the oil field.
It's a trade. It's
a trade, but I needed it because, that's all I had was beatings and stuff. That was the only friends I've ever had. They give me a solid place to work. When that rig would move, they would take me with them. It's just like I was just like an old rig dog.
Did did any of your friends or your coworkers ever suspect that you were, cross-dressing underneath, and that you had this feeling? Did you ever confide in anybody?
No, I never confided to anyone except my psychiatrist in Anchorage, Alaska. But the natives, I work for Native Corporation. They got some of the greatest drilling rigs on the planet, and they kind of suspected something because one of them followed me in the bathroom and tried to pull my pants down. So I guess I let something show. But he was unsuccessful at doing that. But what could I do? It's been something that's been going on for 60 years.
Yeah, I was just wondering, maybe you told somebody, you had like you confided in somebody and if they accepted you or not, But so back to, I guess I wanted to talk about like, well, getting married. You got married young the first time?
Yes, the first time I got married, I was 19 years old.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
And then did you have, how many kids did you have with your first wife?
I had all 4 of them with the first wife.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. And
then you, what
At
happened? What
19
happened? What happened with that marriage? I mean, if I don't want to get too,
that marriage,
fuck it, I want to get personal. Yeah.
it just wasn't meant to be. How do they say it now? Baby's mama, the baby's mama.
I mean, you had 4. She had 4.
We was just too young.
Dumb kids. Did you know each other like growing up or anything like that? Did your families know one another? Was it from the same town or something?
What was your question again?
Being young and getting married, and you guys why did you end up getting divorced? I think that was the question, right?
Well, really, it was the right thing to do. To be honest with you, she started staying away from the house 2 or 3 days and weeks at a time, and things started coming up gone. I used to keep my grandmother's rings in an antique bowl above the refrigerator, and I've done it for years, even before I met her. But I don't know, stuff just started coming up gone from the house, and then I put 2 and 2 together and ended up having to get a divorce. There's some things that
Dishonesty.
there was a lot of dishonesty.
Okay.
If this wasn't live, I could go into further detail.
Mm-hmm.
But that marriage was dissolved, and rightfully so. I went down to Galveston and went into a treatment center, and she brought the kids in there and set them. About my 11th day there, she brought the kids in there and set them down on the bed, and I said, "Look, I'm not ready to stop." And she took off, and when she took off that time, I divorced her.
So you're talking about substance abuse and stuff, right?
Yes.
So because of your substance abuse, you left her because she didn't want to.
Yes.
It wasn't her going,
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah.
It was you going, oh, you're not gonna back me.
I needed the substance to get along with her.
Oh.
Yeah. It was,
so that's something that we could touch upon, I guess. Genghis, I don't know if you mind. Look at him, what he's wearing. He's wearing a shirt. Rehab, relapse, repeat. You see that?
Yep.
That's kind of the secular. That's what happens. It's rehab, relapse, repeat. That's the way of the world.
It's a revolving door.
What did you say?
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, you know who came up with that? I don't know if you know the gentleman, but Piazza. Did you ever met Piazza?
I never heard of Piazza.
Piazza was my business partner, and he died about 2 years ago. It's coming up to the 2-year anniversary. And I've seen you. We're not friends because we never really made our acquaintances and stuff like that. But I've seen you in the neighborhood for years now.
Mm-hmm.
Seen you driving around in your moped, right?
Yeah, that was a designer moped.
And I used to live in the neighborhood around here too. But anyway, I'm sure you've seen the gentleman I'm talking about, Piazza. But unfortunately, he died of a heroin overdose 2 years ago. My business partner. So, but anyway, he came up with that shirt, and he's right. Rehab, relapse, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he's had a little history in that, right?
Yeah.
You're in recovery.
Yeah, I'm in recovery.
Kind of, but you smoke weed now. You're total scum. You smoke weed. You don't care.
No.
What do you think about weed? Does weed mess with recovery? Is weed really a drug?
Well, I don't have anything bad to say about weed. A lot of the big corporations, it's against their policy to have it in your system. To me, that's the only downfall. My sister was a very successful businesswoman, and she smoked pot every day since she was old enough to crawl.
Nice.
She owned 2 businesses and had 3 or 4 houses blueprinted up, and built at her design. And, hey.
Mm-hmm.
But now that she's 65 years old, either Alzheimer's is getting to her or that weed is getting stronger.
Yeah, it is getting very strong. So so you're in the marriage. You guys get divorced. I'm sorry for being so. I just wanted to find out about you and you really dissect your life, if you don't mind.
You go right ahead.
But substance was coming into the play here, and you said you got into some kind of into some kind of program
Yes.
at that point?
At that point.
After the divorce, right?
No, that was actually before the divorce.
Okay.
During the divorce.
Okay. And how does that work out? It's like a kind of like a life thing or whatever, life struggle. You're never fully over.
Hey, look, that divorce, it needed to happen.
I'm talking about recovery.
Oh, recovery.
Being in recovery and stuff.
That didn't last long.
It didn't?
No, I was only 19 or 20 years old, and then once them old drilling rigs fired back up and,
It was part of the culture.
it was, and I couldn't raise the kids on welfare. And matter of fact, I've always made too much money to get on welfare. But what the welfare department didn't understand is when I was going out there in the Gulf of Mexico, earning good money, we wasn't getting the money. I hired this agency called His Rainbow Riders, and that's a maid or a nanny that will come and live in your house and take care of your house and your kids. And, and that was costing me like $3,500 a month. So me and the kids was probably living off $1,000 a month, and but that was down here in the Gulf of Mexico. When we moved up, when we eventually all got back up to Alaska, the wages was a lot better. You make more money, you work less time. It's just a working person's dream.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, matter of fact, I've even asked one of my employers, look, I either need $1 an hour raise or $1 an hour pay cut, to get on this county assistance. But I've never successfully been able to get on county.
So that's why you're a Republican.
Yes.
Because you just had to do it on your own.
That's right.
You just
ain't one way to do.
That's it.
Wave that red, white, and blue.
That's always the way it works. You love America?
I do love America.
You love Alaska?
I do love Alaska.
Why the hell are you in Florida?
Well, I come down here to get my surgery work done.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it?
And then I met the girls at the salon, and
this is a fucked up state.
Monica is definitely been a savior, and
it's only a fucked up date because you're from here originally.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I'm a self-hating Floridian, and
you know what? I will give you 100%.
Yeah, but look,
you are a self-hating Floridian.
Bobby, you live 4 red lights away from Donald Trump.
Okay. Talk to me. Tell me.
Look, we can just not. We can just call him Donnie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call him Trumpy.
Yeah, Trumpy?
Yeah.
Well,
Trumpy.
You idiot.
No. Don't be mean to Trumpy. Don't be mean to Trumpy boy. Don't be mean to Trumpy. Don't be mean to Trumpy boy.
Hey, I wouldn't even talk ugly about Donnie. Hey,
that's what I sing to the liberals.
Yeah.
God, can you believe how they are? I mean, all right. So, politics. Let's talk about politics for a second. I mean, you're such a dichotomy. You're in. Do you ever venture into Roosters at all or anything like that? You ever hang out in there?
I've been to Roosters a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's something else that I would like to touch bases on.
Okay. And Roosters, we're talking about the local, what'd you say, gay bar?
Yeah, the LBGT. See, most of the people that goes there are very successful business people. We're talking about people that lives on the island, that's got hundreds and thousands of millions of dollars, but most of the people that go there are hard-working people.
Mm-hmm.
And the people in our community on this generation, they don't know they don't know how to work.
They want handouts.
And then they want to use your prejudice and judgmental and stuff, But if you're going to be a welder, and you go up to a job site, talk about welding. If you're going to be on a drilling rig, talk about oil. Talk about Howard Hughes. Talk about J.B. Hunt. Talk like you know something about it. If you want to work, act like you want to work. You know, if you want to make somebody some money, act like you want to make them some money.
Oh my God, I'm a business owner. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, does any of your employees act like they want to work?
Yes, they don't want to. They don't act like they want. They don't act like they want to work. They don't. Some of them don't. No. And it is that mindset, you know, because like when I go back to how I used to be when I worked for other people, it was, what do I got to do next? Right? Like I was like right up in my boss, like, what do you want me to do now? You know? And then just like trying to figure it all out and do it all on my own. You know, I really, really being motivated and stuff like that. I'm totally different than a lot of the people that I employ.
Well, you know, getting back to when I was doing a training on that first drilling rig, the driller told me, hey, anytime you see somebody doing something, you go there right then and you put your hands on it and you jump in. You know, and I've been jumping in ever since. You know, it's just a great work ethic. And, you know, and some people could work all day long and never accomplish nothing. You know, it's when you work and accomplish something is the reward.
Exactly. You know? God, that's exactly true. So what are you going to do here in Florida? Like, what is your plans? Are you going to stay here now that you met?
Yeah, my plans.
Some friends and stuff.
My plans, you know, I got to get papered up on some hair.
What are your plans? I mean, look at this. You went from the oil fields to rubbing oil and lotion and things like that on women.
What I'm
saying, but you went. I was trying to figure of like a clever way to say it.
Well, you know, the good Lord has blessed me in many ways. You know, the oil field. Vigor Industries, being a shipbuilder, because, you know, we built big boats, little boats, aircraft carriers, nuclear subs, tractor tugs, super tankers. You know, we used to service 2 of the boats on the deadliest catch. But then when I come down here to Florida, it's a new adventure. You know, when I went to Alaska,
you think so?
That was an adventure. When
you look at it like that?
Well, that's what other people say. That's what my family, when they disown me. Oh, don't worry about Melinda. She's just off doing another adventure. You know, so this will be probably my 3rd and final venture, you know, because, you know, moving 7,500 miles from north to south, you know, that's a chunk.
And you started it off right in the beginning, right in the beginning. You said you ran away from home or just left early?
I had to leave. Either that or get beat to death.
Really? Yeah, just always getting fucked with.
And you know what?
Now, what about in school? Did you get fucked with in school too?
Not too much. People kind of avoided me, you know, for the biggest, you know, when I was 30 years old, I looked back and said, wow, I went to school with no shirt on and no shoes on, with these whelps on me and dried blood on me, and nobody said nothing. You know, and this went on for years. And, you know, and I remember when I would go to school, I'd put my head down. I'd put my head down on the desk, and I would take a nap 2 or 3 times a day in school. I've got to say that because I take a few naps today.
Say that one more time.
What?
In the mic. Say it one more time in the mic. What did you say?
What I said about taking a nap in school? Okay. I would put my head down on the desk and I would sleep. You know, literally needed to, you know, but being, you know, with a child with your head down your desk and mud between your toes, no shirt on, blood marks dripping down, purple belt whelps, you know, that was an average day for me.
Wow.
You know, I had to leave, you know, and I could tell you some stories that it's only a miracle that I'm sitting here today. You know, like I said, the good Lord has blessed me several times, and this is, you know.
You never did that to your kids or anything like that, though.
Oh, no.
No. So you broke the cycle there.
I did break the
cycle. Were you a good father? Are you a good father?
Well,
Do you still talk to your kids?
Yeah, I talk to some of my kids, most of my kids every day.
They know about this, and what do they think?
Well, all 4 of them supports me on it. It took my oldest son a little while to come around, but he's one of my biggest supporters now.
Wow. That's awesome. What about your parents? What do they think about it?
Well,
Did they know to the extent?
no, and I waited too late because my mom she's getting very much in, she's 84, 86. And then her memory is not the way it should be. But, you know, she's had that for several years. But when it come time for me to discuss things with her, she was not able to comprehend or recognize the things I was trying to ask her and stuff. You know, you can't argue or accuse someone that is not able to, you know, I don't want to say Alzheimer's or dementia, and I'm not going to associate that with my mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't even speak it in the universe.
Right. But I was dealing with symptoms similar to that. And you know, her being, now she says, well, you as my son when you left, and then you're going to come back as my son. You know, and then I got a brother up there that, you know, thinks that that I'm the devil himself. You know, the worst thing that he's ever seen. But, you know, this brother, you know, he don't forget, you know, I went to Alaska. I was the first one there. Then my mom and dad come up there. And then he come up there. And then I started helping him and his 5 kids out. You know, I kept them folding money. And then he got a job at the shipyard. And then from there, he went to working for the oil companies. And, you know, and for me to, he thinks of someone's honesty and personality. He judges your honesty by your hourly wage, you know, and, but yeah, he don't like nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. And that's okay.
Do you think that there's any time that you'd be able to patch things up?
No, I don't think so. Not with him, because I tried to talk to him last week, and he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And then basically told me, do not bring your fucking ass back up here. There's no place for you or your kind up here. And yeah, and, you know, I can't make amends. You know, is there enough time to do anything? Who knows? You know, same with my mom. She is, at this point, she is incapable of being able to understand why I transitioned. You know, my whole family knew that I wore women's clothing. They always knew that. And then when I started coming out and making the changes, it's like, why? You know, I had to be who I was on the inside. You know, so I started being normal, and then everybody got disowned, and all the hatred started coming and stuff. But, you know, I don't understand that they accepted me wearing the women's clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, but anyway.
So you cut your dick off?
I cut my dick off.
You did? You went through with it, the whole thing?
That was a 9-hour surgery.
Is your dick in a jar of formaldehyde right now? And that was his stupid.
Well, I figured
question.
I'd be able to hang it up and dry it out, and maybe stuff it like, you know, my heritage. You know, the Indian, the Native.
Did you really? You really did, right?
No, the doctor, he took it away. And,
okay.
And he probably got fired for doing the things that he was doing. No, look, I had some good doctors. No, I don't have the dick, and I don't have the balls. That's what my brother said. I said, Tony, it's me. I'm the same person that I've always been. He goes, you don't have balls. You know, right now I figure I got more balls than any son of a bitch around. Just physically
what is it like to pee sitting down?
Huh?
What's it like to pee sitting down?
It took a while to learn how to do that.
Right? Because I mean, no, that's for
Hey,
real.
when I first sat down and started peeing, that goddamn pee would go everywhere. Up on both butt cheeks and down my leg on the side of the toilet, all around the floor, and it took a minute. You got to dial things in. People don't understand. It takes a lot of maintenance to take care of the girls downstairs.
Mm-hmm. And have you used it sexually and stuff yet?
Well, I would tell you what, my therapist, my psychiatrist, they would always, I've got a sex therapist and stuff.
You had a lot of therapists.
I do.
What is up with therapy? Why have you been?
Well,
I mean,
doctors
we are all in an insane society, I believe.
Okay. Now, my psychiatrist and my sex therapist and my surgeons and stuff says, look here, you done spent $600,000 on your boobs, your hormones, and your vagina.
You have implants?
No, those are not. Yeah, I got implants.
So what did you get? What kind of cup did you get?
I got a handful.
Are they C's? D's?
Yeah,
D's?
they're C's.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. So you spent $600?
Yeah, that's about what it cost altogether.
Oh my God! Including what insurance though covers and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
what the insurance covered, and then plus my out of pocket. It is, I've been paying quite a bit out of pocket. I'm not going to tell a lie about that, and it's very expensive. Just the maintenance and upkeep on the vagina itself. You got to take care of it. If you don't.
So there's a lot of maintenance required.
But yeah, you get.
You don't just get the surgery and that's it. There's like a lot of other things.
Hey, it's just like any other vagina. Designer, top shelf, 5-star. But if you don't take care of the vagina, it can literally eventually kill you. Just like a cyst female. They've got to take care of it or they could get sick. Liver disease, from just, it's high maintenance.
Do you have any regrets?
None at all. The only regret I have is that I couldn't do this back when I was in my 20s, and instead of waiting until I was 55 before I really started doing something about it.
Wow. I mean, I think that's like the last question I really had. I want to. Is there anything that you would like to add to this? Like say to the world?
Well, actually, we didn't really touch too much on the drag queen story hour.
Yes, I do want to talk about that. Definitely.
Okay.
Drag queen story hour. Tell me about that. You said something about, you mentioned to me in passing when we were talking over at the beauty salon about that drag queen story hour you're not really
the drag
a fan of. Now, why?
Well, I'm okay with the...
Thank you, Genghis.
Yeah. Okay. The drag queens are okay. Now, they like to dress up as women. They do it on show nights. They don't walk around town 24/7, but they dress up. They make movies.
They bake cakes, Big Mama.
Well, yeah, but that's on TV. But the drag queens, that's people enjoy dressing up. It's like theatrical type stuff. They love putting on the makeup and they love going to the beauty contest to see who does the best thing. And then you've got the other people that dresses up and
I feel like it's almost for attention, honestly.
Well, yeah, but see, that's going to bring me up to
Come on, don't worry about these yapping.
Okay, I say about the women's sports and stuff like that. Hey, I think if you're a drag queen, no, you shouldn't be allowed in the women's sports.
No, I mean trans. But what about a trans woman?
A trans woman.
Like if you, all right, do you believe that you should be going into a ring, a cage fight, and fighting? How old are you?
60.
60. You look great.
Well, thank
for
you.
your age. You look great. When's your birthday, by the way?
My birthday is July 7th, 1960.
July 7th. Wow. All right. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Almost the 4th of July.
Yes.
Of course your dad was in Vietnam and stuff.
Yeah.
know?
Now, look.
But if you went against a 60-year-old cis woman right now in an MMA match, who would win?
She would.
She would?
Yeah.
Really?
Ladies, can you put the thing up in the bathroom?
The handle.
Can you put the handle up in the bathroom?
Look here. Okay. For someone like a trans going in, a male, for a male to compete with the girls, they've got to be compatible. You know, if and I've even called the women's sport or the national women's sports leagues.
Okay.
You know, the Olympics and stuff like that. And I was trying to put my 2 cents in it because, you know, I'm there. But bare minimum for a trans person or a male, anybody, to enter a female sport, they should at least be minimum 5 years of hormone replacement therapy. You know, because that's going to kill their testosterone. That's going to bring up their estrogen, okay? And that's going to bring their level up to that of a cis female. Mm-hmm. You know, let's be fair, you know, because you're doing testosterone against estrogen? No. You know, I would say at the bare minimum, before they could even step in a league or any kind of female sport, without being under doctor's orders and proof of blood draws and tests every single month. I had to do it. You know, not to join their sport, but my endocrinologist, I had to start my hormone replacement therapy, and we kept track of it every single month. Now, if they could produce those kind of records, you know, to join into the sports, you know, I think that might be a little.
You know what Drag Queen Story Hour is, right?
No.
That's actually when drag queens go and they read storybooks to children in school. That's what that is. That's what I was referring to. It's actually when they go and like it's called Drag Queen Story Hour. They'll go in there for an hour and read to all the kids and you know, like very, very small children.
Right now we're talking about Dr. Seuss and
yeah, but
Winnie the Pooh.
Actually, I'm going to cut in on this. No. They actually have released new Dr. Seuss-like books, but pushing transgender into the young children. I'm meaning like they'll have a book.
You have that on yourself? Do you have the video on you?
Yes, I do.
All right, good.
Like, and it's also about like when they're going in there, like I forget what the drag queen name was. He went in somewhere reading. I think he was on RuPaul's Drag Race too. And he was sitting there in a suggestive way at first, opened his legs, and he had no underwear on at all. Like, and people, you know, at first bashed it about it, like, whoa, that's wrong. Like, what's going on? And then it was like, oh, he's like, oh, it was a mishap. I'm sorry. And they were like, oh, forgiven. Forgiven? You just exposed yourself to, I'm like, daycare age, like 3, 4.
Let's
like,
see, I'm against
that's wrong.
that. I'm
1,000%.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking
that.
about drag queens going into schools and reading to children who are like 5 years old, 6 years old, you know, story time. They do this in New York. They do this in different cities. What do you think about that?
Well, what I think about that, I was reading something on the internet today, you know, and this 5-year-old girl this 5-year-old child asked one of the parents, hey, can I smoke a cigarette? And the mom says, no, you can't smoke a cigarette. You're only 5 years old. Well, can I have a beer? No, you can't have a beer because you're 5 years old. Well, can I go out on a date and stay out late? No, you can't because you're only 5 years old. Well, can I take hormones? Well, yes, you can. You know, can I change my gender? You know, You know.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
God, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So you're not down with that either. You're not down to let little kids make their decisions to do that. So you're good with that. You had to go through your whole life like this, feeling like this. You wouldn't have had to want to be able. You wouldn't have wanted to be able to do it earlier.
I think the child should, through years of therapy. It's not something that a mother and dad should be able to just make their decision up, because a lot of them will do that. Look at some of the other countries, but here in the United States, I think that should be teamwork. The child should be talked to, go to the doctors, psychiatrists, counselors, and then when the child, 15 years of age or something like that, or even 20 years of age, that gives them something to do, to work with, because they really can't do any surgery work on you until you're at least 20 years old. Jazz, I don't know if y'all heard of the Jazz TV series about the transgender woman that started transitioning when she was 5 years old, and then went up to
5.
and they even had her on TV. Had a big show about her. Salgado, her surgeon was Salgado, and my surgeon was Salgado. But anyway, Salgado went in there to do the bottom surgery, and there wasn't enough. She hasn't grown enough for them to properly do their surgery. Your body's got to reach a certain point before they can successfully do the surgery. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't think that someone should be coached at birth. I think that the individual should be able to talk about it and explore about it and find out, like I said, through counselors, if when they're 15, 20, 25 years old, and if they want to pursue more into this. I'm not 100% against it. And I'm not 100%, well, yes, I am 100% against it. Mm-hmm. That's a tough question, because, I'm going to be getting a lot of hate and stuff.
So you're worried about getting hate from what? From the people down at Roosters or something like that? Or
no.
People in
the community.
In the community?
The
Is there a lot of group think where you'll, like, if you say anything that's outside of what everybody else is thinking, like, they're just gonna get on top, they're gonna try to teach you the way that you got to think?
No, that's not going to happen, because I spend most of my days at the salon over there, and I got great people there to coach me and keep me thinking positive. Now, I was wanting to also bring up, being fully transitioned and stuff like that. I can't go to the men's bathroom and pee.
Okay. Another great thing. Hey, listen, you also, as my producer, helped me. He helped me come up with questions, and you never came up with that one either. You're the worst producer I've ever met in my life.
Okay, so but
thank you for doing his job.
Behind it, and you clearly
Shut up.
Fuck you.
But yeah, okay. So, what do you think about bathrooms? Yeah. Should there be 3 bathrooms?
Well, only if society would allow it, but no, because like I said, I cannot go to a bathroom and use it that's got a urinal in it. And now that I've learned how to sit down and control my pee, I could keep the bathroom clean, without a lot of nasty filth and stuff going everywhere,
Wow.
and if someone that was in drag. And drag are good people. They like the competition and stuff like that. But, the drag people are not going to enforce going to the women's bathroom, because that's not what they're into. Now, you get some of these people that like to dress up like girls and try to go into the girls' restroom, and that's not right. Again, if you're doing the hormone replacement therapy, and if you've had your surgeries, other people could look at you and say, well, look here, we're not handling your business. There's no threat there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you show up there with a woman's dress on, you're sporting a big beard and, chewing tobacco and smoking cigarettes and stuff like that, and come in there wearing flip flops, dress and stuff. You're out of place.
Yeah. I mean, because you're,
And
you
other
have
people,
children.
exactly, and other people is going. No, if I seen a character that I just described go in the bathroom with one of my kids, I'm right in there, and this guy's, he's leaving.
So what do you think about the Proud Boys at all? You thought you heard about us or whatever?
Yeah, the Proud Boys, the red, white, and blue, the Confederate flag. You know how
Not
you look.
Confederate flag. That's I guess, but
Okay.
that's what they think. But that's what you think, right? Like, tell me, yeah. That's what you've
Well, the
heard.
Proud Boys, they're a society that supports the same person I support, Uncle Don.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, four
Would
red
you
lights
ever
down
want
the
to?
road.
Would you ever want to get into like a group like that?
Yes,
You would.
I would.
Nice, because you are you would be eligible because we are a men's club. Now, just hear me out on this. I don't want to be offensive or anything like that.
But now you're just talking about discrimination.
We're a men's club.
Now you're starting to piss me off. No,
I'm sorry, just being honest. But you have to be genetically born male. So that's all. You can be a transitioned trans woman and still be a part of the club.
okay, great.
According to the correct. I mean, I'm not
100%.
but according to all the laws or whatever, right? I'm not trying to say anything out of school.
Biological male.
Biological male, born male. That's right.
That's it.
You could join the Proud Boys. You like Trump and stuff, and you're a patriot.
Hell
Are you a
yeah.
proud Western chauvinist who refuses to apologize for creating the modern world? Do you know what that means?
Huh.
Are you like a super patriotic person who, isn't going to apologize for being, part of Western culture? Your family comes from Western culture. Okay. You guys are, settling the West, right?
Exactly.
And America is the way it is because of a lot of hard work that your family must have put in,
Generations of
Are
work.
you going to apologize for that? Because now in the days like you were talking about, these people that are in your community, the way that they act, right? They kind of act like spoiled brats, right? They don't
Yes.
really go after it. They don't really work like they do. They like you did, like you learned to, right?
That's right. Get out and pay your taxes.
That's what Proud Boys think. Proud Boys think that. Like what I'm saying, they take the world by the balls. They go out and they do, they have trades. They father children.
Yeah.
They
Create the
push,
modern world.
Yeah, they push Western civilization, create it more, right? And yeah.
We're pro First Amendment, pro Second Amendment.
What do you think about guns?
Yeah.
I love guns.
You do?
I think
Hell
everybody
yeah.
ought to have one. hey, even as kids.
Maybe not me,
Hey,
but
they give
let's
you
agree with we
guns
love
to play with as kids. Cap guns, but they really look real and stuff like that. You was raised up with them. No, but there's nothing more pleasing than the smell of gunpowder. In order to protect yourself, your family, your kids. I was reading on the internet, and everybody's got the internet. But if they want to control the gun laws, let them take the guns away from the outlaws first. And let's see how that works. And then if they could do that, and then we'll discuss the rest of the gun control and stuff.
There's no way to take it from the outlaws.
No,
there's no way.
No, there's no way.
No.
And I was thinking about that today. That if they put any kind of sanctions on guns and stuff like that, you know how many Republican gunsmiths there are in this country? Hey, every garage is going to be turned into a machine shop.
I would almost get that every single one probably is a Republican too.
Yeah. Now, what they say that there's 300 million guns in this 300 million. No. Yeah, there's 200 or 300 million registered guns to different owners. And they said 2 or 3 trillion bullets or ammunition. There's not 100 million people in our military. There's not the military don't have 4 trillion bullets in their
Armory.
armory. You know, the private citizens, they've got the ammunition. They've got the guns. And those guns is what they used to bring this country up to where it is today.
You know, you got comments on there too. You can read the comments. Hold on. I want to show you that really quick. What do you think about the Capitol? What happened at the Capitol?
I think we should defund the Capitol.
Ooh. There.
Yeah, I think we should defund the Capitol until they...
You could bring it on the screen too if you hit it. If you like hit it next to it, add to broadcast. If somebody said something interesting. Sorry. Just showing you something else, producer. You got to figure this out, man. Anyway, you know what happened at the Capitol when the people stormed the Capitol?
Yes.
Yeah.
President Trump or Donnie asked for 10,000 National Guardsmen to show up, and I hear, now this is very political, but you know, it shows that someone in the Capitol building refused and turned away the order. You know, so at this point here, it's very difficult to get the correct news. But
but
I think
Proud
about the
Boys
Capitol-
is something that you would be interested in joining.
Oh, yeah. I think we should defund the state capitol until they stop giving $500 billion to the other countries to up their pipelines, and so we could buy their oil from them. We should be able to drill our own oil. We should be able to, there's nothing wrong with an American being able to go to work and making a house payment, a car payment, buying their kids clothes a couple of times a month, you know, and having good toys and stuff like that. And all that is, you know, all that, we could do that. We've been doing it for years.
What do you think about the pipeline, that they shut down the pipeline?
That's the dumbest thing that, you know, the working people didn't have nothing to do with that. You know, President or that dumbass Biden.
Yeah, let's not even call him president, right?
No, he's not. No,
He's
president.
not the president. Do you think that the vote thing was rigged?
I do think the vote thing was rigged.
He's fucking
You know,
rigged. That shit was rigged.
100%.
Yeah, how many people in the graveyard voted? Proven fact. You know, but that's not the first time the dead rose and voted for the Democrats.
What about in your family? Do you have Democrats in your family?
No.
No? You're the best.
Yeah.
This has been so good.
I
love
live
it.
with some Democrats.
You do?
Yeah.
And what happens with that?
Oh, it's a big clash. They tell you know, I was ordered by the management that I can't talk gay, or I can't talk transgender, and I can't talk politics. But say when I walk in there and they're talking about Biden and stuff, something like that, and I'll shut them down and talk about Donnie, and you know, and then they rat me out, and you know, and I get in trouble.
Why do you get in trouble?
Because I'm a Trump supporter. The people I live with don't like Trump. And they could literally, and I hope Jackie hears this, that you would dare kick me out of the house and make me a homeless person just for being a Republican.
Fuck you, Jackie.
Fuck you, Jackie.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Amen. Put that in your
That was a
pipe.
great way to end it, don't you think? I mean, how long we been going for here?
An hour and 24 minutes.
You got anything interesting? Did anybody say anything fucked up or anything like that, or anything good or anything interesting at all?
Well, I started kind of bouncing around a little bit. It kind of made me nervous. I didn't know what to expect.
This has been great. I you know, if there's
I feel
anything,
a lot better now.
Yeah, now, what do you think about the future? Huh? What does the future hold?
Well,
What are we gonna do? I mean, we're in this crazy time.
Clown world.
Clown world.
well, I think,
You want to come out to a meet next Wednesday?
hell yeah,
Yeah. Hell yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna have to bring my gun.
Of course.
Nice. All right. So I think that's pretty good, unless you want to crowbar in anything else.
No, hey, thank you very much.
I really appreciate. Listen, I really appreciate you, and the smell of gunpowder and the smell of you, and you three ladies, right?
Yes.
You make the shop
Well, we should
smell
bring
so much
Monica
better.
and Magda up here because these people,
They're shy.
hey, they're the most hard working.
Polish people are very hard.
Look here.
It's called working Polish hours.
You know, I still think that, you know, they're showing me every day. I would try to jump in and do some hard work and stuff like that. And these girls already got it figured out.
You're always around
whenever
hard
they
workers.
rebuilt that salon over there, you know, they put their fingernail files down, their combs and brushes down, and they pick up paint brushes, rollers, knives, screwdrivers.
They're proud girls.
Heck yeah. I mean, my gosh, they're the hardest working people. I would match them against me and any other person in this country.
Hell yeah.
You know, they hard working, they pay their taxes, and you know what? They're smart. They're freaking smart. They're so smart, I feel dumb.
They're not what they say. They're not the stereotypes. Oh, there's a lot of stereotypes being broken today then.
Yeah,
just not with you, Bobby, though.
No, I know.
You're still fucked.
All right. Put it on me. Put the camera on me.
Okay.
That's it. Ready?
Right. Yeah, it's on you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching today's stream. If you're in the market for awesome custom t-shirts, check out fatenzo.com for our line of pseudo-intellectual party tees. Check out fatenzo.shop for Perry's and Proud Boy swag. Check out proudenzo.com. I'm Bobby Pickles, and I've had an outstanding time with you today. I appreciate you very much, but I'll appreciate you more for liking and sharing this podcast. There's a 20-year-old nerd sitting in a back room at Google with cum stains crusted on his pants, deciding who wins or loses in life because he learned how to code while living in his mommy's basement. Are you going to allow that? It's time we fight back. Give that dork a slap by posting this to Facebook, Twitter, Parler, whatever. And always remember, proud of your boy.
Proud of your boy.
Are you going to be able to, hold on one second, do the outro, buddy. Grab it. Hold on. Nope.
Bobby Pickles Podcast. He always says that's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Outstanding. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles Podcast. That's me.